All right, we are back. Let's try it again. Are we live? I see it. Are we live? Are we holding our frames? That's all we want to know. You get a little bit of music in? Test it. Alright, now we're gonna test it. Go to animate. Drop the animation. That's your test right there. Can't handle animations. don't know why the chat not working. Testing. Yeah, that's usually the hardest thing to play. Testing. Let's try another animation. Alright, this will be a good test. Let's go to settings, output, some balance, you put it on speed. We hovering around. Now I'm still not satisfied. Go back in. I'll make the changes. What about now? It came up a little bit. What if we go to fast? What about now? How does the picture look? Maybe we take it off. now. Pause that. Check out the links I've been sent today. All right, Liz gave us this. Can you see it?
With Facebook shops connected.
Stop that commercial because they flagging for that now.
Till the election, all bets are off. How about Civil War? Let's go for it. Everybody has had enough. Enough. Want to play this game more? Watch what happens.
Honestly.
Excellent job on COVID. And while the Democrats were so busy trying to impeach you, they ignored the virus. And they're still ignoring the virus. What is the Democrat Party going to do to stop this? How are they going to make the Chinese pay for it? None of that is relevant. All they're doing is getting into the gutter on the scummiest liver to blame Trump for everything. Democrats can go to hell. Are you people nuts?
This is, the man can't even say the word Democrat. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's trying to say Democrats. Give him the benefit of the doubt. But this is the kind of idiot that causes the division in the country. This is the kind of uninformed, ill-tempered sons of guns that cause division in a country that's already divided. But this is the kind of idiot that's going to get his sons to go out there and start a civil war and get their butt kicked again like they did the first time. Because they're unintelligent, they're ill-informed. They don't know how to strategize. They don't do their research. They just go off what somebody tell them. They go off what somebody tell them or what the devil tell them in their mind. You blaming the Democrats. The Democrats are not the president. President can make an executive order and can't no Democrat say nothing. He could have been closed down this country and got rid of this disease. Could have been done it. But he chose to worry about the stock market. You worrying about him being impeached. He's worrying about the stock market. Now he's sitting there with the disease. That shows you how incompetent he is. That he knew the disease was deadly since February, yet he allowed himself to get the disease. Blame that.
I think 200,000 dead Americans is good enough.
Hey,
Blame on the Chinese, because I'm not buying any more Chinese. My campaign says boycott China, and I'm not paying for people who want me dead. Got it? Find some balls in your community to actually put the blame where it belongs. Stop the BS already.
But sir, I would, even if you do blame the Chinese for the virus, you're talking about not wearing masks. The virus is real.
The virus is real. And then what? I'm outdoors. Outdoors is not a problem. Indoors is the problem.
Scientists say that...
No, don't give me about the scientists. Everybody from Fauci to CDC, they lied about AIDS and they're lying about it now. You can't find a decent comment from any of these people. You want to play that game? End of story.
Paying $750 in taxes, not a lot of money for a man who says that he has billions of dollars. Do you think that's unfair?
I think it's minor league. It's 2016 all over again. It's BS. Gives his salary to charity. The man's given millions already on every other level. $700. I mean, you guys are desperate to keep playing this stupid game.
He's talked about being a billionaire, but it turns out he may actually owe $421 million. Does that bother you at all?
No, not at all. I hope he owes, $10 billion. What do I care? I come from Miami. I drove up here. When we had Hurricane Andrew, we had signs all over. Looters get shot. You got it? That's where we're at.
Hurricane Andrew was 1992, and we're talking about 2020 now. And I want to know, though, like, what do you see from the president, from the administration, on rioting, on those issues that are more to your liking? Because a lot of people would say that there wasn't action other than calling the military in several days after in Minnesota. Do you see that?
It stopped. And what happened in Kenosha? It stopped. The point is, all these rioting and all this craziness is going on in Democratic-controlled cities, all of it designed to get Trump, which means we have to make everyone's life so miserable and so hateful that they will vote for Biden. If that's the way they want to do business, I'm not interested. The fact that they would even go so low as to say that he's called losers and cowards to World War I veterans. I mean, what kind of insanity is this? This guy's put up $2.5 trillion, for the military. He's there more than anybody. So whenever the swamp decides to play this dirty game, it just moves masses of people who might have been on the fence, maybe don't like Trump, but when they realize how dirty the other side is, they're moving in his direction. And that's where I'm at. The more BS you throw out on this low-class level, when the country is in such danger and such chaos and such division, the more you throw this stuff out, the more people will be voting for Trump. Keep doing it, not a problem.
If my man was wearing this, I would be all over him.
Oh, Lord. No.
That smells really good. Smells like my guy's cologne.
Can't grab the button. All right, y'all. That was from Liz. Not from me. But I'm glad she sent. Do y'all hear the retards out there? These are the retards that are going to vote in November. These are the kind of dumb, hillbilly, backwater neck idiots. This man is talking about a civil war. It didn't work the first time you got your butt kicked. You're talking about doing it again. Why would you send your sons to go out there and get their butt kicked when all you do is sit around and complain? How you gonna fight a war? Man can't even walk to the end of the street talking about a daggone civil war. What are you gonna do? Get a rifle and wheelie around in a wheelchair? These are the kind of idiots. And I said idiot, and if somebody don't like it, come on in here and debate me. These are the kind of idiots that don't think for themselves. They sheeple. They sheep. They don't do no research. That man, the more that man talk, the more you realize he don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's still referencing a hurricane that happened 20 years ago. These people are back in the backwater, back in the hills. I'm just saying, this is some of our American people. But see, because we stay separated, like I keep saying, we don't see them. There are a lot of people that think like that. A lot of people that think backwards like that. And that's why you can't get nowhere. How we gonna come together? The man is blaming people that don't have no power. But he won't blame the man who has the power. Let that marinate. He talking about Trump sent troops in to stop people from protesting. Y'all have to learn the difference between a protest, a riot, and looting. They are three different things, but you lump them together. Somebody walking down the street with a sign saying, "No justice, no peace." That's protesting. Somebody going around setting fires. and stealing property. Rioting is busting windows, tearing up cars, tearing up property. That's rioting. Looting is actually taking items out of cars, out of businesses. That is looting. You got three different things. You can't put everybody in the same category. Just because somebody marched, don't mean they're going to riot. Just because somebody riot, don't mean they're going to loot. Most of the people that loot are not protesters. When you see the people marching during the daytime, you don't see no looting. But when it gets dark, you see a new wave of people. The majority of people that setting the fires are the people that don't live in that area. Now, one thing that we got to see when Reggie was boots on the ground, there was young white boys walking around with hoods on. You see them stand by a building, he come walk back by, the building be on fire. After a while, he started to say, hey, that's Antifa or somebody. But you don't want to separate because then you would have to call your own. So you put them all together. Yeah, them daggone black people out there marching now. They burning everything down. We got to stop them. The majority of those people don't even live there. The young man that shot 2 people, he lived in the next state. They had to extradite him in there. So why do Hicks always associate everybody? If you went to that town and claimed everybody was dumb Hicks, they would say you were being racist. But they look at black people, all they do is rob, steal, and kill. Chinese people can't drive. Orientals don't let them get behind the wheel. They gotta always stereotype, but when you stereotype them, they get an attitude. They want to fight. They stereotype you all day. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. They stereotype you all day. And if you say anything back, see, that's what I'm talking about. What's wrong with y'all? I'm not racist, you are. You hear something and go off half-cocked and don't even know what you're talking about. They sound retarded. They sound like it's something mentally ill. There's no reason for people to act this way. But then they want to tell everybody else in the world what they need to do. You can't even control where you live at. How you going to tell somebody else overseas what they need to do in their country? You can't be honest with yourself. Why you think you got the nerve to tell somebody else how to live? But see, you got that devil in your mind. That's why you think you can do it. Because everybody else is wrong but you. Everybody else. You got a president that's talking about everybody that's on the police force, everybody that's a fireman, everybody that's a military personnel, you's a damn fool. You's a loser, you's a sucker. You're stupid. What do you get out of it? Helping people. That's what your president of the United States said, and yet you gonna vote for him. You out there at the hospital looking stupid for a man don't even care about you. All he care about is money. You're going to tell me it ain't something wrong. You're going to tell me it ain't something wrong. Something wrong with our country. You want to keep overlooking stuff. You want to pretend you don't see stuff. Well, it's there. Whether you want to admit it or not, it's there. And it's staring you right in the face. Question is, why you scared? Why you scared to stand up? Why you scared to say something? Why you just go along with what everybody tell you? That's the question. I want some answers. I keep asking the questions. Why nobody won't give me an answer? People get mad because I tell the truth. If I'm lying, come show me up. If I am lying, come show me up. We played a video last night. All these white people crying. And they crying. Huh? There's people living in tents in front of my businesses. And they on the sidewalk. Because I'm trying to figure out why the people in tents. They want to spend money and build things to put on the sidewalk to block them. So you rather have a bunch of trees still blocking the sidewalk. They putting up all kinds of trees and gates and fences. They still blocking the sidewalk. I thought the object was that not be blocking the sidewalk. No, the object is you don't want to see them people. Because you don't really give a darn about them. You don't want to see them. The same way that man told that UPS driver, I pay to live in this gated community and I don't want to see you. Let's get to the root of the issue. You ain't mind seeing them when they was over there fighting in Desert Storm. You don't mind seeing them when they go fight other countries while you sit here and look on TV like you watching the video game. But when they get shell shot and they come back, you won't give them the proper medical care. And they wind up turning to drugs and wind up on the street. Why we can't go round these people up? The soldiers live in what they call them camps. Why we can't put them in camps? They served our country. That's why they messed up. They having nightmares. They've seen unbelievable horrors. And your answer is to step over them when you see them laying in the gutter. Your answer is to complain about them living in a tent on the street. Why not gather these people up? Give them their own compound. Give them their own section of society. And tell them they got to stay there. As long as you want to get high, stay there. We'll bring the drugs to you. Serve our country. We're going to serve you now. We're going to bring psychiatrists in. We want to find out, what did you see over there that hurt you so bad? But you need these drugs just to make it through the day. What the heck is hurting you? If you want the help, you're going to get it. If you don't want the help, stay there and rot. But now you ain't got to see them living on the street. Isn't that what you want? You say they won't stay in the facilities. Then why fund the facilities? Why not just give them some land, put them on that land, and make them stay there? Have somebody bring them methadone. trained doctors to monitor them. They are most of them that are out there homeless are ex-military. It's not our duty to take care of our veterans. They used to be in the military. They used to be in the camp. Put them in the camp on the edge of town, on the edge of your state, out there in the wilderness. Put them out there. Bring them their drugs every day so they ain't got to come. You ain't got to see them. Take care of them. Give them 3 hots in the cat. They got food. They got their drugs. Give them a little TV. Give them a little radio. They like to fish. Give them some fishing rods. There you go. And now you can come outside. You ain't got to see them. You can go to bed at night. They're not going to be trying to break in your house to steal something to go get some drugs. Just go ahead and give them the drugs. Methadone is made in the lab. You ain't got to have no deal with no drug cartel to make no methadone. They can make it in a lab very cheaply. And that way, with the addicts in their own little camp. And make them stay there. If they come off it, they get locked up. And that way you ain't got to worry about them. We can set up a little visiting area. If you want to go visit your loved one, you can go visit them on the compound. Just like you go to jail. Go visit people in jail. Except they won't be in a cell. They'll be able to wander around and fish and camp and do the same thing they're doing on the street. They can do it right there. The difference is you don't see it. And that's what it is. You don't want to see it. You don't care about the cost. You just don't want to see it. So why is that a bad idea? Why can't nobody get behind that? You know why you can't get behind it? Because you don't know what you want. Because you want everybody else's family member to go there, but not your own. That's going to be the problem. You want everybody else's family to go there, but your own. That's going to be the problem. It's okay for somebody else's family member, but not nobody you care about. And that's why we're not united. But that's the way it is through the whole country. You don't care what happened to somebody that's not in your circle. You really don't. As long as you and yours is okay, the hell with everybody else. That's the way of the United States. Problem is, that's man's way. What did God say? Your second greatest command is to love your neighbor with all your heart, might, and soul. But we don't food on our neighbor. I don't mind them being there, as long as I ain't got to look at them. I don't mind them being there, as long as they don't get in my way. I'm driving down the road, why are all these cars here? Go home. What you on the road for? This is the American attitude. It's not a godly attitude. But this is why we have the problem that we have. Why is it that we can only come together when we see a threat? Some people know that if something happened to Donald Trump, the next president is not going to let them openly racist. Not going to let them do what they're doing. That's why they out there. They all united out there. Because they want to see this president stay live and stay in office so they can keep doing what they're doing. Do y'all not understand that? Are y'all that kids in the clouds? Are you in La La Land? All them people out there, they don't give a darn about Trump. But Trump don't stifle them. Trump lets them say what they gotta say. Trump's not politically correct. They don't want to be politically correct. They always talk about go back to your own country. Go back to your country. You don't want to go. And the reason you don't want to go is your country wouldn't put up with the sorry attitude and values that you have. That's why you don't want to go. They're not going to put up with it. They're going to send you back. That's one. Two, you're afraid that if you do leave, that you leave opportunity for people who you feel are beneath you. But see, if you pick up and go, somebody got to take your place. Wherever jobs you're working at, wherever you're living at, somebody got to move in there. Somebody got to take the job. And chances are it's going to be somebody that don't look like you. You don't want nobody to have that. That's why you got your gated community, why you got your security, why you call the police. Because you're trying to hold on to that. You don't want to share. You want to hold on to it. You'll stay even if you're scared. You'll stay even if you're outnumbered. You'll stay even though you're afraid to walk down the street. You'll stay because you don't want nobody else to have it. There's a lot of people, they call it flight. There was a lot of people that moved out of Baltimore City. But the jobs are here in Baltimore City. A lot of them, they moved out to the county. But to make the real money, you got to come in the city. The port is here, where the ships come in. All the hotels, all the good hotels are downtown. All the convention centers are downtown. You got the harbor place. If you go out to the boonies and stay there, then you give all that to the minorities. Oh, hell no. So the people coming back. And they trying to push the minorities out to the boonies. Trying to put them out places where the bus don't go. Where they can't get around. You ain't got no car, you in trouble. Because see, you don't want to let go. Because if Baltimore City was that bad, there wouldn't be nobody white in it. They would leave. If Baltimore City was that bad, there wouldn't be nobody white in it. But they know if they leave, the people that's left behind are going to benefit. That's why they won't go. And they'll endanger their kids. All right, you got to run to the Uber. Run to the car, jump in it. Don't say nothing to nobody, keep your head down. When we get to where we got to go, get out, don't talk, run inside. They would rather live like that than to say, let's clean this place up. Or let's just leave it. No, we not going nowhere. You gonna tell me it's not something mentally wrong? Y'all gonna tell me it's not something mentally wrong? Why would you want to stay in a place where you don't feel safe? Played the video last night where the man said that the homeless people were sitting out there, leaving needles on the ground. Where the homeless people were sitting out there, looking at the kids and jacking off. Why would you have your kids around that? You don't want to do what it takes to get them off your block, but at the same time, you ain't leaving. You're not going to let the homeless people have that sidewalk. You're going to stand there. I ain't going nowhere. But he ain't complaining about you. You complaining about him. He ain't got the money to go nowhere, but you do. But yet you still stay right there. Is something wrong? Somebody talk to me. Where everybody at? Somebody come talk to me. You want to have a real conversation? We can have a real conversation. About 5 years ago, they were having newscasts where white people were complaining about the homeless people were coming up to them, 4 or 5 of them coming up. They would see a man with his family, with his little kids, down by the harbor. The bums know that the people got money. They know that they don't live in Baltimore City. And they go up there and they intimidate them. Can't have $5? Can't have $5? Come on now. And the people say that they feel obligated because they're afraid they might get mad and their kids or wife might get hurt. So they get them the money. Well, if you get them the money, dummy, they're going to come back next time. How is giving them money when you don't want to make them not want to ask you again when you going to give it to them? Rather than getting together and saying, look, if we don't come down here, Baltimore City don't make no money. So Baltimore City need to get rid of these homeless people. Instead, you just give them money and live in fear. Because guess what? There's no way you're not going to come down to Harbor Place. You'll put your family at risk. You'll put your kids at risk. When you got the money to go out to the boonies and make your own. But no, you won't give it up. This is the problem. You don't want to be around people, but you don't want to give up anything. That is the problem. You give the Indian people the land and had it for hundreds of years. And all of a sudden you want to run a pipeline through that. Run it around them. Why I gotta go through where they are? You gave them their property. Find another way. Go over it. Go around it. Go under it. Nope, you got to have that land. Well, you gave it to the Indians. Now you trying to take it back. Why? If you had to build something underground in the sea to go around that land, you gave them that land. The Indian people, they saved their money up and they about to open up a casino. And that casino was sitting right there with Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut. If y'all don't know, that's money. So why not open up your own casino across the street? Nope. You want to take theirs. Why? Why do you want to take theirs? What was one of the problems with the stimulus package? The Republicans wanted to give money for Donald Trump to move his hotel or to move the airport or buy up the land around it and make it a parking garage so nobody else could open up a hotel to compete with Donald Trump. Y'all understand? Y'all understand that for Donald Trump to stand in front of a church with a Bible, he had the police mace the protesters outside to make them go away so he can come out and do a photo op with a Bible in front of a church. He could have went to another church, people out there protesting, but see, they not going to do that. They're going to make you move. They not going to move. They not going to leave. They not going to give it up. There's about 300 churches in Washington, D.C. Why did he have to stand in front of that one? You maced people. Pepper sprayed them, maced them, rubber bullets, to get them to get out the way. Just so you could come do a photo op in front of a church they was protesting there. You know how that sounds. You know how retarded it sounds. For Donald Trump, who you know got CV, to be locked in an airtight SUV, bulletproof, airtight. That means every one of his germs is locked and sealed in that car. And he's not even wearing a real mask. He had a cloth mask on, and he the one that got the CV. The other agents got on the real mask and got on shields. If one of them agents touched something that he touched and touched their mouth, what about the person that had to clean the SUV? The person that got to inspect the SUV? You're putting all these people's lives in danger because you want to ride around to show that you tough and that this disease can't beat you. But it's already beaten you because you got almost 8 million infected. You got 210,000 dead. And you might be on that list. But you're supposed to be the president of the United States. The disease can't beat you, huh? You want to lie and say that the disease ain't nothing. But somebody talk to me. Why is he taking Depo-Provir? Am I saying it right? Depo-Provir? Why is he taking it? That's for people who about ready to get on the ventilator. He ain't even had the disease 6 days yet. And he's taking medicine for people that supposed to be getting ready to get on the ventilator and get ready to check out. Why is he doing that? Somebody talk to me. How does that show you powerful? How does that show you well? You taking a disease for people that's advanced. People that's near death. You're taking that drug. And you ain't even had the disease. They say it take 8 days for it to kick in. He ain't had it for 5 days. But he's already taken the medicine for people that are advanced. Let that marinate. We can go back and look at videos that tell you, unless you experiencing severe symptoms, don't go to the hospital. As soon as he found out he had it, where'd he go? He went to the hospital, but they've been telling you for months. Unless you severely sick, don't get no test. Unless you severely sick, don't go to the hospital. Yeah, he took his butt to the hospital. Do you understand? Don't do as I do as I say. You can't be a leader and live your life like that. Can't. Naya says he's leaving the medical facility now. Please explain to me, the disease don't kick in for 8 days. Why is he out riding around? He's supposed to be quarantined. They were telling you, stay in your house for 14 days. This man ain't stay in the White House for a damn day. He ain't stay in his house. He went and got in the hospital. We had people, if they didn't have a high temperature, they were turned away from the ER in April. They were turned away from the ER. Yet the president been in the hospital. He ain't even had the disease for 5 days. And this is the bad part. It usually takes 4 or 5 days for you to get symptoms. If in the first 3 days he been given oxygen twice that they admit to, and he's on experimental drugs for those people in the advanced stage, what does that tell you about how the president doing? Liz said, yes, her husband was. So how come he can go? Y'all understand what I say about the hypocrisy? How they tell you one thing and do something else. They tell you one thing to do, but they do the opposite. And then they want you to support them. I can't come to y'all and lie to y'all every day and then expect y'all to be here. If his symptoms were mild, why is he on an experimental vaccine, Naya? Talk to me, Naya. Why is he on an experimental vaccine? That's for people in the advanced stages. Advanced mean you are in the ICU praying that you ain't got to get on that ventilator. That's the drug that he's taking. Do you see how I say it don't make sense? Why the doctors say, oh, he's doing great. Oh, we had to do this. He's doing great. Well, I didn't want to give the impression that, everybody talking in circles. This man has been defeated by this coronavirus disease. It's killed his presidency. Anything he done in the first 3 years has been taken away by this disease. And this disease might take him out. He's been defeated. I can't get behind somebody that's defeated. He's defeated. Liz said, for mild symptoms, they tell you to take Tylenol and the cold. I see your point, PD. So why is he taking... Naya said he was taking the meds prior to... You remember he was talking about being on the hydrochlorine, the hydrochlorine, the hydrochlorosil. What was it called? How come he didn't get back on that? How come it didn't protect him? They took it for 2 weeks. Must not done him no good. Naya says, I can only think for prophylactic reasons. You letting the president of the United States take an experimental drug. Do y'all understand what the word experiment means? Experiment means that it has not been conclusively proven to do anything. It's still under trial. It's under trial. If the man wasn't in his 70s, if he was young, it wouldn't be that big a deal. But the fact of the matter is, Donald Trump is old. And he keep taking risks, walking around with no mask on, having all these people around him. Everybody that was in that rose garden, they all need to be tested. Naya said there's not much evidence the medication will be effective. But suppose the medication is like the hydrochloroquine. The hydrochloroquine causes blood clots. It causes heart problems. The man is in his 70s. Why would he take a drug that could damage his already old body parts? Now you got him on another experimental vaccine. Next week, they might say being on that causes cancer. Being on that causes heart disease. Being on that causes your kidney. You don't know. Because it's experimental. You don't let your president take an experimental anything. Especially an old president. Unless he's in bad shape. Naya said he's walking proof it didn't work. Yeah, the hydrochloric with the little Z-pack, whatever they call it. Notice he don't talk about that much no more. Back in April, he couldn't stop talking about it. Now he don't talk about it no more. See, the problem is that I keep telling y'all, Republicans are lazy. They got that wait and see approach. Well, let's wait and see if we can get a vaccine. And then we ain't got to do another stimulus package. Let's just keep putting money in the stock market. And we can say, hey, stock market did good. While all this was going on. See how good a president I am?